What's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. As always, I hope you're having a phenomenally blessed day. Thank you for joining me for another Topics with Becky Narcissist series. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And this is going to be about you're always wrong. So for those of you that have lived or been with or been around a narcissist, you know the famous, you're wrong. Everything you do is wrong. It's never right. Even if it is right, it's not right because they need something to tell you off to feel better about themselves. So, story time. I know how to cut hair because my narcissistic ex taught me, taught me so that because we were in a state of where we couldn't afford it and he couldn't go without having his hair cut. And so he's like, I'm going to teach you how to cut hair so that way then I can at least have my hair cut. I was like, all right, cool. He always did a fade. And I learned how to fade hair. Okay, I was getting really good at it actually, but honestly, every time it came up, I would get a sense of panic because I was afraid of what it was he was going to say. How he was going to accuse me of being wrong this time. And it had been about a year after I'd learned how to cut his hair. We were in the bathroom and I was cutting his hair. And he had to get his hair cut every week or so, okay? Sometimes it was every 2 weeks, but it was pretty often, just like most guys. Most guys go pretty often. And I remember I was cutting his hair and I was fading this part right here. And I did the right side. I was doing the right side. I had done the left side, and something just looked off to me when I was looking at him in the mirror. It looked like one side was bulgier than the other. I don't know how else to explain that. If you cut hair, maybe you can understand this, but again, this is just a story. But one side just looked off, okay, and it looked off, and so I was trying to fix the side that looked off. It was the right side. I kept looking at the mirror, and I kept trimming and trimming and trimming, and then suddenly it started to look like the other side. And I stepped back and I was looking at him from where I was. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he blew up at me and started screaming at me at how I had ruined his hair, how I didn't know anything about what I was doing, and how he couldn't even believe that he trusted me enough to let me cut his hair, and how I was just a piece of shit, and how there's nothing that I could do right, and how now he had to go the next week. He was just going to shave it off to a zero and basically shave his head with a shaving, why can't I even think right now? A shaver, right? And I remember sitting there looking at him, and I was so shocked at what was happening. I was like, I was trying to fix it, and he's like, you didn't fix it, you ruined it, thanks. And I couldn't breathe. It's all right. Hold on just a second, guys. I couldn't breathe. My heart was beating so hard in my chest. And I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes. And I knew if I started crying in that moment, he was just going to call me a big baby. And he was going to yell at me some more. And I said nothing. I turned off the electric shaver. And I put it down. And I walked out of the room. And I couldn't leave the room because his whole family was out in the main room. And I only had one place to go. And that was in the room that we'd had. There was a little hallway when you came into the door. It was just like a little hallway, right? Like not even 3 feet. I leaned up against the wall. And I started bawling my eyes out. Like bawling quietly. Like I wasn't being loud about it. I was just letting the tears roll over my eyes and just cry. And I stayed like that for about 10 minutes. And I'm assuming at that time he was fixing his own hair or doing whatever. And he came out and he saw me crying, and instead of calling me stupid like he normally did when I would cry or cry baby or whatever, he would just make fun of me. Oh, you're gonna cry. Which of course makes it worse, right? Like any time, and I'm sure anybody that's been there knows that it makes it worse. It just makes you feel even worse. And so he came over and he hugged me to be nice, right? He goes, "You did a good job." And I was like, "Get the F away from me. Like, are you serious right now? You're going to tell me I did a good job when you're like screamed at me in there for whatever it was?" He's like, "I don't think I could have done a better job myself." And I was like, "Are you serious?" We left. We went to some friends' house. And when we were at the friend's house, we were smoking. And he pulled me aside and he was mad because I didn't bring all the weed that I had that night. I just left some at home because that's what I did. And then suddenly we're in this balcony and he's screaming at me about how I didn't bring the weed. And as soon as people came out, he would grab my hand and turn me around and wrap his arm around my neck and hug me to him. And it was like, I always just, there were times when I just imagined biting him because I just wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, it was terrible because it's like, all you do is tell me I'm wrong. All you do is tell me I'm not good enough. All you tell is that I mess everything up, and then you try to build me back up again. And for so long, it was weird. We would have fights, and there would be these moments where he would always tell me I'm not good enough, and then I would just stop talking. Like, it got to the point where I would just clam up, and I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything that was in my mind, because narcissists are really good at twisting your words. Like, they're good at making you come off as the bad guy, no matter what it is that's happening. Like, you're just trying to defend yourself, and whatever you say to defend yourself, they twist it as you're the bad guy. And, I remember one time we were driving, again, these are just examples so you guys understand that this is what they do, okay? One time we were driving, we were talking about gays and lesbians and transgenders, okay? And I'm not, I was raised to accept everybody as everybody, your color, your gender, your race, your sexuality, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You're a person, you're a human being. You deserve to be loved, you deserve to have love, you deserve life. That's how I was raised, okay? Like, my mom was very keen on raising my brother and I in an environment where we accepted everybody. It was very important to us. And my ex was very against gays and lesbians, the LGBT community, very against it. And it was so weird. We were having a conversation. He was driving my car. And the question that I asked, to me, it's a valid question. How are you going to judge somebody for what they choose to be? And I asked him, I said, what if you have a child that is? Are you going to disown them? And he's like, no, I'm going to go make sure they get the help that they need. And I was like, what? Like, what kind of help do they need? Well, they need to be shown that it's wrong. And I was like, I'd found out a week earlier that he had a niece that was gay. And he said, well, we knew she was from the time she was a little child and this, that. But having this conversation with him just somehow set him off the rocker. Okay. I was like, what about your niece? And he got so mad. As he's driving, he punched a hole in my windshield. Crazy, guys, like crazy. That's why I'm saying these are extreme situations that had happened, okay? And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't make sense. It was wrong. I was wrong. He starts screaming at me, you're wrong for believing there's nothing wrong with them. You're wrong for not wanting to get them help. And I was like, they're born like that. Like, who am I to say what's right or wrong or what makes somebody else happy? Who am I? And that's what I was trying to tell him. And he wouldn't listen. And I got out of the car and I walked home that night because I couldn't. Okay, so you're always wrong when it comes to a narcissist. I just want you guys to understand it does not matter. When you are trying to have an intelligent conversation with a narcissist, they're always going to find a way to make you feel miserable about yourself. Because it's in our moments of allowing ourselves to be in a vulnerable place and state how we feel about something, right? Or like in that case, when I was cutting the hair, it was allowing me to be vulnerable and to allow my skills to come out and just allow my talent to shine through, that I pick up things easily, okay? that with the weed. It was just saying that I don't always have to share every little bit that I have with somebody. It's wrong. To them, it's wrong. And I bring this up. Yes, I know I've gone off on a tangent about myself here, but understanding that nothing you do is wrong. No matter how much they say what you do is wrong. Nothing you do is wrong. It's just that they need an excuse to make you feel bad, because misery loves company when it comes to a narcissist. And I share these stories with you guys so that you understand that I too know what it is to be around narcissistic people. This is just one example of a narcissist in my life. There have been many. So you have to see this as they're just trying to get you into a state of misery, because only when you're in misery can they be in a state of happiness, because they need people to feel as bad, if not worse, than they do. And that's what makes them so happy. Like, ha ha, I'm not alone in my feelings. Like, ha ha, I got you. And oftentimes it will be people who are level-headed and people who do have a good head on their shoulders. And it's because you're not easily ruffled, but for some reason, they know how to ruffle your feathers. And so I bring this up because I want you guys to first understand you're not wrong in anything that you do. You have to stop questioning yourself. You have to trust yourself again. Because after I broke up with him, trusting myself has been one of the hardest things I've had to learn how to do, because he made me question everything I did. It got to the point where it's like I changed every aspect of myself to what he thought was right, and I let go of every part of myself. And now I'm learning how to bring that back in. I'm learning how to bring back in those aspects of my life and not feel guilty about it. Healing from a narcissist, it takes a long time. And so I don't want you guys to feel like you're alone. I'm sure there are plenty of you guys that have stories that are the same or worse. And I'm not here to say mine are worse than anybody's. I'm not. They're examples. They're examples so you guys understand what it is that I've been through, so that I can show you guys that the only way for you to get out of it is to believe enough in yourself to say enough is enough and to let them go. To let them go. They don't belong in your life if this is how they treat you. Okay? And I have faith in you guys. It took me a long time to have faith in myself. And I have faith in you guys that you can do it. And just know that I'm sending out love to you, because I know sometimes letting go of a narcissist is one of the hardest things that you could ever do in life. No matter how simple somebody makes it seem, it's hard. Because it's like being stuck in life. So this is what I have for you guys. As always, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we meet each other again. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.